Welcome to the Career Pathway Show, where Spence and Mike talk about careers, prosperity, exploration, and freedom. Today's topic is outcomes in education. I'm very excited to have Oxnard Community College in studio today, and we're going to be talking about some great things happening on campus.
The community college is a force to be reckoned with in the world of education, and there are so many career opportunities. Listening to the conversation we're about to have, you will find an arc of careers that covers everything from first responders to the culinary arts on out to automotive and more. It is remarkable how much is available at community colleges like Oxnard.
And right here in our backyard, you were talking about dental hygiene programs. You can get a paralegal certificate, programs with that, and it's all online for that. So many things that you didn't even know about going on right here. You can learn more coming right up on this show, and also online. You can go to Oxnard College to learn more. Check it out. It's going to be very good. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited for the interview. I think you're going to enjoy it. We have a wonderful program today talking about higher education in Ventura County, and you cannot ignore community colleges. Of course, the Ventura County Community College District has 3 colleges here in Ventura County, and one of those, Oxnard College. I actually attended Oxnard College, a fabulous place to go to school. And I think it's actually, a lot of people don't know about it, so I'm excited to highlight what this college is doing, and we have some folks from Oxnard College here in studio.
And I think what's great about the community college is that people, in the old days, it was a what am I going to do next situation. I'm talking about 30, 35 years ago. But now it's a place to go to get an immediate career or develop the skills you need for a transfer. And what I like most about them is in 2 years, you can actually have the education that gets you a job that pays you money. And we're talking about a 20-year-old now with an adult's wage and a career out of a community college. It's really remarkable what they're doing at Oxnard.
I'm just thrilled to have staff and faculty from Oxnard College in studio and to highlight some of the programs that you may not have known about and some of the wonderful things happening on campus that you may not have been aware about. So we're going to get into these details, and we'll start with the president of Oxnard College. That's Dr. Cynthia Azari. She's the president over at Oxnard College. And first, let's talk about the college. Give us an overview of Oxnard College.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having us today. We are in our 43rd year. Oxnard College has been around for quite a while. We have 7,400 students this semester. And last spring at our graduation, our youngest graduate was 17 and our oldest was 71. So we have students from various backgrounds, various ages. We're a comprehensive community college. We're one of 114 community colleges in California and one of 3 in Ventura County. We offer quite a few programs for transfer and for career and technical education. We have over 20 transfer programs, and we have direct agreements with California State Universities and with the University of California system. So students can come from high school and take 2 years and then transfer. We also have a dual enrollment program. That means that high school students who are currently in high school can take college classes at no charge. There's no tuition. The state of California started a promise program this year. So if you're a first-time, full-time college student, you do not pay tuition. But our foundation is so strong that we started a second year as well. So you could actually come to Oxnard College tuition-free for 2 years. So it's a great place to be.
Fantastic. I love that. I was the first in my family to graduate college, and Oxnard College was where I went for my first semester in school, eventually transferred out to the Cal State system. So I want to talk about some of the demographics and the populations of students that come to Oxnard College, but we'll get to that toward the end of the show.
Right.
What I want to go to now, you mentioned career and technical education, and we happen to have the dean of this department here in studio over at Oxnard College. That's Robert Cabral. Robert, thanks for being in studio today.
Well, thanks for inviting us and thank you for having us. We're so excited to be out here to talk to you about some of the great programs we're offering in career education. And we're also really happy that we get to feature one of our we think is one of our showcase programs we do here too as well.
I'm excited to talk about that as well. And I know you have over 15 different programs in that career and technical education. So I want to touch on each of those, and I'm teasing it. We'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to highlight this wonderful program that you have. And it's something that again, a lot of people I don't think know that this exists, but you should know it exists. And by listening today, you're going to get a front row seat to some great stuff happening. So Robert, give us an introduction of our featured guest today.
Well, thank you. So I'm glad that the news is getting out and it's starting to migrate within our community. So one of the programs that I have the opportunity to supervise is our culinary restaurant management and hospitality management program. And we were so lucky that Chef Hart, or Professor Adam Hart, applied to our program. Adam, I think he's going to get a chance. I hope he gets a chance to speak about where he came from. But he was a lead chef, former lead chef at Cordon Bleu, and we were so fortunate to recruit him and hire him as our full-time faculty. Now, with that, Adam has been able to take our culinary program to the next level. This is a program that offers both certificates and associate degree. And in addition to that, one of the things that Adam uses in our labs out on campus is something called our Bistro Cafe. And I think Adam's going to talk about that. A lot of your listeners have attended our bistro at various times over the last 3 or 4 years. We have a new twist on it this year. We only have something to offer your listeners as well, too.
Well, thank you, Robert. And Adam Hart, thank you for joining us today. I'm excited to talk about the culinary restaurant management program and the bistro at Oxnard College. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. This is a fantastic opportunity for me to talk about this program, and I'm very excited to be here.
Well, give us an overview for someone that's not heard of the program yet. What is the culinary restaurant management program at Oxnard College all about?
Sure. The culinary restaurant management program at Oxnard College really is a culinary school. So coming into our program, you will get the absolute basics for the first semester, which is our safety and sanitation class, and then you're running our cafeteria. So that feeds the entire campus, and we welcome people from the outside as well to come in and experience our $5 meal, or everything is baked in-house, everything is made in-house, everything's made from scratch there. So it's a fantastic opportunity for people just to get their foot in the door with us. Secondly, after that, we have a few of our more advanced classes. So we now offer a baking program where we have an intro to baking, and then we have an advanced pastry class. This is a new addition to our curriculum. And on top of that, we're also offering a cake decoration class. So we're really trying to mirror what is being offered on the outside and what other culinary schools are offering, and what other culinary schools that charge a lot more than we charge are offering. So you're getting the same type of experience from realistically the same type of instructors for a fraction of the cost.
As far as a student coming in that says, hey, I'm interested in this and I think I want to be a chef, how long does it take to go through the program, and what job do they go to directly out of the school?
Sure. Well, we do have a proficiency award, which is the first two classes that I talked about, which is the safety and sanitation and our cafeteria class, or institutional food production class. With that, you are able to start in any kitchen in California. So that is 1 semester. You can get that done. If you'd like to move on past that, you can move on to our other classes and take your general education and achieve an associate's degree within 2 years.
Spence, just to talk about it, my kids aren't quite old enough to be thinking about college yet. My oldest is 7 years old, but yours is in high school. So you think about, where are they going to go after high school? And is it a career track as far as going right into a vocation, or is it kind of getting the college degree first and going into getting that degree and then finding the job? What are some of your thoughts about this?
I like both at once, and I think that's what you're getting with the Oxnard program, because somebody has an interest. Let's say it is a culinary interest, because when I was a kid, they just called it home ec and get out. And that was that. You had no idea or clue that something like this was available, none whatsoever. Restaurants were in San Francisco and New York. Now they're everywhere, and the working opportunity is there. I like the fact that you meet science with art and with food. And this is all coming together here. Is there an arm of it that's in the management side too, or are we just raising these culinary chefs. So from the management point of view, once you're a chef, could you get the education where you'd also know how to run your own restaurant?
Absolutely. That's something that I really want to focus on in the program is the management end. We can teach you to cook. We can teach you to wash dishes. I mean, that's not where the money is eventually. The money really comes with management. So we do offer courses. Our 102B course is a management course. And in that course, a lecture course that I teach, we really go through from concept to execution. So, what sort of restaurant do you want to open up? How is the layout going to look? What is the front of the house going to look like? What's the menu going to have? We need to cost the menu. I can go on and on and on about this, but that really is where the rubber meets the road. That management is important for moving up in the ranks in the kitchen. And our hospitality management program is fantastic for our front of the house students, as well as anyone who wants to go into, hotels, motels, anything having to do with management. They have a number of different courses where they're able to teach them how to move up the ranks.
Adam, so tell me about the bistro. The students are making food and really having a restaurant environment. Is this somewhere I can take my wife for a date, or is this a business lunch, or what? What are we experiencing when we go to the bistro? When is it happening?
It's both. It's whatever you want it to be. So we have recently moved from a dinner service to a lunch service. I wanted to make it a little bit more accessible for people to come to campus and really see what we're doing, really showcase our students and our food and our faculty as well. This is something that's offered on Thursdays. Reservations and walk-ins are available from 11 a.m. until 12:30. And it really is a collaboration between two different classes. So the first class is our back of the house class, and it's the kitchen, 100% student run. And then our front of the house, which is our dining room class, and that our students are serving the general public. So they really get to see both ends of the spectrum and really understand that they're both incredibly important.
So how much does this, let's just assume, how much would a student make after finishing the program? Where are you seeing them land? And how much are they making as far as that first job out of the program?
Sure. Well, I'm getting calls literally day after day of people who are looking for our students. So there is a definite need for students to get out into the workforce. I do ask numbers when they call, and we're looking anywhere between $13, $14, even $15 at some places. It just depends what they're looking for. However, this is something that I tell students, which is don't chase the money, chase the experience.
Yeah.
So really, if you got to start as a dishwasher, that's where I started. That's where we all start.
And that resonates with the kids. I mean, I think in the students, as far as that goes, I think these generations coming up now are looking for experiences, and they, of course, want the money as well. But it's almost not as much of a focus for some, where they say, hey, I want this. I love doing this. I love preparing food, or I love, being in this environment, and this is where I want to be, and I don't care what it pays me.
And it looks like the experience you get learning at Oxnard College is for a hotel, for example. You have the room service arm, you have the general dining arm, you might have a fine restaurant, and then you have banquet. So at that level, you're feeding 1,000, you're feeding 2 in a room, you're feeding people at a happy hour, and all of that. So you're really spanning the globe. And I have talked to a few people around here who were stunned at the advancement, and also as a young man or woman, the places you can travel to be. You could, work a hotel in Hawaii, you could work a hotel in New York. The laughter we used to have when somebody talked about the fine dining in Vegas, going back a couple of years, maybe a couple of decades. But now Vegas is one of the premier restaurant capitals of the country, certainly. So all of this comes together, and getting that work experience and going in, knowing something, and maybe starting at the bottom rung, but you'll be pushed up very, very quickly if you have the experience from Oxnard College.
Yeah, you definitely get a leg up coming from Oxnard College.
And before we jump, I want to talk to a few more programs that are that are happening at Oxnard College. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the culinary restaurant management program?
Like I said, we are just going through a bit of a renaissance right now, and it's fantastic to see the students benefiting from that. We're bringing in some fantastic faculty members. We're also very excited to have this lunch service. So I really would like to have people come in, and I think we're offering to your listeners, we have a couple of tickets that we'd like to give them for a meal voucher so they can come in and experience what it is that we're doing on us.
We will have some tickets that will be given away. Look for that on social media, and we will be giving away tickets to go to the bistro and have that experience that we've described. Adam, thank you for coming in, and thank you for the great work taking place over there in Oxnard College.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go to Dean Robert Cabral. And I know there are a number of programs in the Career Technical Education division over at Oxnard College. Robert, can we highlight a few of those
Absolutely.
programs?
Before I do this, I just want to wasn't he a great guy? And listening to him, and don't you want to now come out to the bistro and really experience what we have to offer? So we're really opening it up to everybody in our community to come visit us and come check out the campus as well. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that was included in our culinary restaurant program is that this is a program that it's all within the framework of doing what matters for jobs and the economy for California. And there was a recent study that I attended yesterday that spoke about the food industry service, where in Ventura County, this is one of the industries where I was sharing this information with Adam earlier today, where you can see up to 1,200 job postings on a monthly basis in this area. And so this is a great program for students to come in to get a sense if this is what they want to do in terms of their career. And we also provide an associate's degree in food management. And so that allows them to even transfer to a four-year university to maybe even take the step academically the next step further to an associate or a bachelor's of science in food science as well. So, but in addition to our culinary program, I have the opportunity to oversee about 12 to 13 academic programs, from the culinary program to a traditional transfer course program such as business and accounting. I have to mention two of our feature programs. One that's nationally ranked, that's our dental program. We have one of the most phenomenal dental programs here in Southern California, where it's nationally ranked with I think it's year over year with a 100% pass rate. We also have a lot of your listeners have probably seen our fire academy in the Camarillo Airport Center, where we have a fire EMT and fire technology program. Some of the career educational programs I have the opportunity to oversee is, again, accounting, business and entrepreneurship, the culinary program, addictive and disorder studies. We have this paralegal studies program that your listeners need to know about. And what's unique about this program, it is now offered 100% online. And so this is for the student out in our marketplace that is thinking about the law, wants to learn about the law, and after 2-year training in this program, and you're getting your associate's degrees in paralegal studies, we can make you job ready the next day.
Phenomenal. We're talking with the Dean of Career Technical Education over at Oxnard College. That's Robert Cabral. He's highlighting a few programs you might not have known about. And of course, we just had a wonderful interview with Adam Hart regarding the culinary restaurant management program. And Mr. Cabral mentioned the fire program, the dental hygiene program, and then also a number of other great stuff. What are a few more you can share before we jump over to the next portion of the interview?
Okay, so other things that we do in career education is that we have a great entrepreneurship pathway. We know there's a lot of skill builders out in our community that have a great idea. Check out our schedule of classes. We have various low unit courses where we can get you in, give you some great entrepreneurship concepts, talk about the mindset, and maybe help you launch your business as well. Other programs we offer, a computer networking program. We have an office applications program. In addition, I mentioned addictive disorder studies. We have a fire technology program, of course. We provide a lot of transfer pathways to the CSU is our early childhood education program as well. So come check us out. We're in the catalog. Another key program that we have a lot of assets on campus, we have an automotive body and technology program too. So if you want to learn how to become certified in brakes, we're the place to check out.
And there really are a number of programs, and I know there's more as well outside of your area. There's a number of programs as well that are being offered there. You know, when you think about it, Spence, the community college, I mean, and hopefully our listeners are hearing this and saying, darn, this is a wonderful opportunity for my kids or grandkids to stay local and hit the community college and then maybe branch off to the 4-year or go direct to work. I don't think people really grasp how great the offering is here locally.
Yeah, and I call it a death sentence when you leave college. It's for some people that go to a 4-year, the amount of student debt they have it's such a burden. Even if you leave with a high-paying job, you've got a lot of money to pay back. Through the community college system, far less. Look at everything you mentioned there. Dental, like hygienists and things like huge, great money in that. Firefighting, wonderful career. First responders. Every single thing that was mentioned there is something, a wide variety, through the culinary arts. They cover all of the bases here. I start to think that Before, 2-year colleges, community colleges looked at the 4-year. I think 4 years are going to start looking over their shoulder now and saying, look what these guys are doing. It's going to get to the point where the 2-year is all you're going to need, and then going through and getting apprenticeships, certificates as you increase, like through nursing. You get the job as an RN, then you move up through the field. I just like the idea of a 20-year-old going out and making an adult's wage at that age. I think that's really an opportunity. Everybody in this community, everybody listening to this program should really, really take a look at and take a tour of the campus.
Yeah, that is a big buzzword nowadays. You hear is this idea of adulting. How do you get these, kids in their 20s to become adults and start earning that wage? And well, here's a great opportunity. There's a lot of programs local you can look at. And when you think about it, it used to be years ago they pushed everybody toward 4-year college, must get that. It used to feel that way, and I don't know that they actually did push them that way, but I think it felt that way, and people thought that it was that way. That's changing now, and I think they're focusing more on outcomes, more on certificated programs, more on trying to get that job that you mentioned. And we do have one more person we want to speak with a little bit about that. This is Vice President of Academic Affairs. This is Roy Vasquez, and he's going to talk with us a little bit about some of the things that he's seeing as far as the student populations and the outcomes that they're trying to seek for these students. Roy, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thank you.
Well, what are you seeing to that end as far as outcomes that you're searching to have and the students that are there on campus?
Well, community colleges overall have been, just like as you mentioned, engines, if you will, in terms of the economic drivers for the community. But nowadays, we're starting to see a realignment in terms of community colleges. And one is, of course, is that realigning the programs as well as the courses so they can be much more applicable to the student, whether they want to be able to go transfer to a 4-year university or they want to be able to go into the world job market. And that's actually playing a big part in terms of how we are redesigning Oxnard College into one where we're actually realigning ourselves to what the community needs are. And we've always done that before, but now it's becoming much more profound. We have these fantastic programs. We're designing all these different types of frameworks for our students. We're giving more opportunities in terms of partnerships with the community so that we can actually create this holistic community college that we all envision that is going to be beneficial for our community. It's not something that's unique for us here, but we believe it is because we're unique to this community, but also in terms of the community colleges throughout California, where now it's a paradigm shift in terms of being able to be not just transfer-based, as you mentioned earlier, but also now much more vocationally based, where now these community colleges have to be much more outcome-oriented, where now we have performance measures in terms of funding. But not only that, it's also beneficial for the students so that they actually get something when they're leaving the community colleges, not only in terms of an associate degree so they can be successful in the professional and personal lives, but also in terms of a transfer degree so they can be professional beyond that. And that's important for our community, but it's equally important for our students as well.
Well, thank you for that. And Dr. Azari, I wanted to ask you a little bit more. Thank you for bringing your staff and your team in today to highlight Oxnard College. I know there's been conversation about the demographics of students, being some that are first-time college students in their family. They're the first to try and go to college. And then also just the demographics of Oxnard College. Can you give us an overview of what you're seeing there?
Yes. About 72% of our students are Hispanic. And we believe that over 80% of our students are first-generation college students. So when we do recruitment and outreach, we really have to outreach to the families because families don't have a history of going to college. And for many of them, it's the first one. And our graduation celebrations are the best because they're the first in their family to graduate from college. So it's really exciting. But I wanted to mention one thing that was mentioned earlier about college debt, student debt. It is a national crisis. But over the past 12 years, we did a study. We've had nearly 25,000 students graduate with a certificate or degree debt-free. So we want to continue that.
That's wonderful. Well, once again, thank you, Dr. Azari. Also, thank you for coming in to the Dean, Robert Cabral, and the Professor, Adam Hart, and Roy Vasquez. We appreciate you all coming into the studio today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, what a great conversation we just had with the folks from Oxnard College. And the goal for me on this show was to let everyone out there, the parents, the grandparents, who are looking at their kids and saying, man, what are we going to do with them? How are we going to guide them and help them with their career? The other thing that was pointed out, too, that I loved was the fact that the graduation, we had a 17-year-old and we had a 71-year-old. So that means a lot of people who are on in their years are still wanting to get education. And these community colleges here, highlighting Oxnard today, really offer all of that.
And it's so exciting to me when you think about career pathways. In the name of this show, the Career Pathway Show, there are so many good outcomes that a student that is young or old can find right here in the backyard going to one of the community colleges. Oxnard College has a number of them. And in the future, I'm really excited to talk to Ventura College and Moore Park College, also workforce development programs. On this show, we hope to bring some very good ideas to the forefront. And these are things that you may not have known about that hopefully you'll enjoy learning more about. So that should be very exciting.
And one of the other things that I want to highlight is, and I want to make bumper stickers on this one, is college doesn't have to be a debt sentence. Because a lot of people who go to the 4 years, they get a great education and they move into a wonderful career, but they are just burdened with tremendous debt. I mean, we're hearing $50,000, $75,000 in debt that's on the shoulders of somebody who's getting into their career, hoping to start a family and buy a house. What we found is many students go through the 2-year program. They get an AA degree, maybe in the culinary arts, maybe in the dental hygienist, all of the nursing programs, the firefighting programs. Many of them leave with zero debt. That's what I want to really impress people with. Career starting with zero debt. That's the amazing opportunity we have here with Oxnard College.
And that's the challenge nowadays for students coming out of school. I will always advocate for a student to invest in themselves. So if that means taking on debt, I think it's A-okay, and I never want to steer you away from that. But if you can also go and find a career and find some classes that you love and not have to have the debt, it is worth considering. So it's a really important fork in the road for one of these, 17, 18, 19-year-olds to figure out which path they're going to take. For our listeners, most of the demographics on this show tends to be a little bit older. Mm-hmm. So for your kids and grandchildren, hopefully you can help them, share this show with them, or at least instill a little bit of wisdom about checking out what's happening right here at our community colleges.
And I've looked at the learning and earning aspect that they also talked about, and that's the idea that if you go through the automotive program, while you're going to school, you could be in a shop working and earning and apprenticing while you're learning how to further your career. What a win-win situation that is.
And it's so difficult nowadays. There are so many places. It's difficult to get that apprenticeship. When you look at the pressure of wages now for some of these smaller businesses to even hire a few staff or other folks to help them, it's difficult to have an apprentice. It's difficult to hire someone. Where meanwhile, that experience you get while working in the job will really help you set a career in that path. And so it's getting harder and harder. But when you have these apprenticeship programs, when you have these educational classrooms that will help you do that, we're talking about auto, talking about a number of different of these programs they have, it's a value. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it certainly is. And folks, you are hearing it now. And I will say, you have the information from those great folks from Oxnard College. Act on it. Let's make the move. Start talking to the kids. Maybe that happens this afternoon. Who knows? And you start saying, I heard this program today where all of this is available right here in our community. You don't have to go far away to learn. And you can get that career right now. You can do it right here. I think it's really exciting. And when you went through college, I went through college, you did your college work, and you got a job that was like something else. Yeah. I worked at the Canal Valley Unified School District. It had nothing to do with my career goals. In this case, many of the times that while you're learning, you don't say, I have to go to work, because you're going to the work that's within your educational focus. And that's what Oxnard College offers, and that happens through the automotive program. This is really a great opportunity. Let's gather up, folks. Let's have that chat today with the kids.
Well, we hope you enjoyed your time listening to this program today, and we hope to bring more of this to you. This is the Career Pathway Show, where we talk about prosperity, career exploration, freedom, and more. So today's topic was outcomes in education, and we spoke with Oxnard Community College. We hope to talk to you more. Thank you for your time. Have a great week, and we'll talk with you again soon.